PDGA tradition going way back. The Final 9 at Majors. It's the 2023 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championships. One last time from Flagstaff, Arizona. It's Grant Zellner and the philosopher of disc golf, Philo Brathwaite. It's like running a marathon, Philo, finishing up, taking a quick swig of water, and then being told you got to go out and run another 400.
No doubt about it. I'm sure these guys are all pretty spent and ready to call this quits, probably hoping for Joe Rovere that this thing would have been done after the semifinal, but here we are, Final 9. He's got to wrap this thing up with a bow, two-stroke advantage over Cale Leiviska. Matthew Blakely, the Ohio native, finds himself in third place, and Dave Feldberg hung on to round out this Final 9 foursome.
The Final 9 starts at hole number 9, and for those of you that, like me, use your fingers to count, you may wonder how that works. Well, we'll skip the 12th today.
Starting off with a pretty routine par 3. Joe Rovere bouncing it off the koozie, near ace run. Cale Leiviska going to try to match.
Man, if Joe Rovere had rung that up, he'd have to change his socks.
No doubt.
You know why, right?
I don't. Why?
Because he'd have a hole in one.
Ah, nice one, guy. I like that. Our first look at Matthew Blakely on the week, inside the bullseye for a tap in. Feldberg, a deep huff of fresh air, giving himself an opportunity here to maybe get a podium finish.
Good luck, gentlemen. Thank you, sir.
Dave Feldberg, 5th place at the Tim Selinsky. In position to better that by 1 position, possibly 2. Opens up with a nice birdie putt here. First hole of the Final 9. Looks like we're starting off with a star frame, Grant.
You like to see it, the cream rising to the top. And Philo, for those unfamiliar, in this Final 9, these 4 players are assured of a top 4 finish.
Correct.
Everybody
else, their events are done. They're all watching now. They're going to watch these 4 competitors make this final half a lap around this Little America track. We will see who is crowned victor of this PDGA Major. No strokes exchanged here on the first hole.
To the 10th, our second of this Final 9. A 426-foot par 3 that is played as one of the 3 most difficult holes here at Little America.
Absolutely greedy hole. Haven't seen much in the way of a birdie look throughout the week. Maybe a couple here and there, but they were lengthy ones at that. Joe Rovere gets this one to bend to the right, but it is running out of air quickly. Does well to progress the fairway, but going to have a lengthy bid for birdie.
Cale Leiviska.
This is one of the best looking shots we've seen yet, if this can stay clean.
Yes.
There you go. Not bad at all. Difficult for the competitors to get to that position all week long. Matthew Blakely looking for a little hyzer flip action of his own. Unfortunate there to start hyzering out, but then a little good fortune to clip a tree and keep him within range.
And Feldberg, he's 2 back for a podium finish.
I was going to do it, too. God.
Very similar to what we just saw from Matthew Blakely, unfortunately catching the trees and heading out to the left. And look at the obstacles in front of Feldberg here, trying to get up and down for par. Fires it through a skinny gap. An excellent approach there from Dave Feldberg. No putt required.
Little
Joe
jumper
Rovere,
from
he wants
Joe.
to run this one in. He was halfway there. He thought he had that. I did too. That was tracking. Ooh, Cale Leiviska trying to swing that around with a long hyzer putt and just comes up short. Matthew Blakely, solid from out there in circle 2. He's a sneaky guy with that putter.
Feldberg with a little more work to do? No, just standing out of the way.
Yeah, he's right there at the edge of the shadow in the sunlight. You can see that yellow disc. Probably a step or two from where Matthew Blakely's putting from. Matthew Blakely shows hyzer on the release and switches to the anti-release every time. That's his standard move, a little anhyzer spin putt. Feldberg, a little shovel hyzer putt, going to scrape up his par.
Through 2, the lead remains 2. And we head to the 11th, just 570 feet, a dogleg par 4.
Yes, sir. We've talked about this all week. This is really a position shot here off the tee. Don't have to get super aggressive, take any unnecessary chances. 2 clean swings, one that sets you up and another to get you onto the green, should get you a birdie here. Joe Rovere has gone the high route every time, really trying to bite off some distance. And as we talked about with these shorter par 4s, even if they don't get that full flight, still opportunities to score.
Pretty from Cale Leiviska.
Absolutely perfectly smooth in position for Cale Leiviska. Have a straightforward look up the tunnel. Little tuggy there from Matt Blakely, catching an early tree on the right side. Going to have some extra work to do. Feldberg, door ajar. Try to gain a stroke here on Matt Blakely. Fantastic rip from Feldberg. Had a great distance up the right side.
So Blakely first to act.
What a recovery shot from Matt Blakely. I thought he was a little pinched off back there, but he certainly did find a nice alley and executed a beautiful shot.
Joe Rovere.
Playing to win out here. Joe Rovere, excellent second shot here. Cale Leiviska has to match. Yes, and Dr. Smooth delivers once again. Feldberg, no issue, chipping that onto the green.
Nice save, man. Thank you. Yeah, Blakely, beautiful. Good shot. Really nice.
That was a hell of a second. There we go.
Once again, we're 2 for 2. And the entire card, they all birdie the first, they all par the second, they all birdie the third in this final 9. We skip the 12th and head to the 13th. Now the numbers are back on track. A 620-foot par 4 out into the most exposed area of the course.
6 holes to play. I'm not sure which position I'd rather be in. If I'd rather be this man right here, Joe Rovere, up by 2, or Cale Leiviska chasing him down by 2. You gotta like the advantage of a 2-stroke with 6 holes to play for Joe, but that's definitely going to make the anxieties ramp up. Bombs one out there once again.
Cale also up the hill to the left, but that's just fine on this short par 4.
Out there in position for Blakely. He'll like that.
And Feldberg needs to make a move on Blakely if he wants the podium finish.
Well, he certainly put a move on that disc right there. Bombing one out into the fairway. Pin high to the cameraman. That's at least 4 and change, I'd imagine. Important approach here for Cale Leiviska. Want to get this one snuggled up close, and he hangs it out there a little bit. See that flag? Looks like it was pushing that disc down the whole time.
There you go. There you go.
There's a more aggressive play there from Matt Blakely. Does run it a smidgen long, but should have a pretty routine birdie putt coming up.
Blow tail in. Blow it in. Blow it in, tail in.
Ooh.
Wow, what a run from Feldberg. Was that face mask? That looks so close to going in.
Joe Rovere. Little bit of a roll there, and he'll have a windy little putt there. But first,
True, but yeah, Cale Leiviska's got the longer putt. This could be a little extra breathing room here for Joe Rovere if Cale can't connect here. Once again, low bottom cage for Cale Leiviska. That's kind of been his Achilles heel this week. Throwing the disc very well, but man, every once in a while on the putting green, just a slight undercommitment on the action, coming up short. Meanwhile, Blakely cashes that birdie.
Joe Rovere for a 3-stroke lead. This would be humongous.
Absolutely for Joe. That would be a massive sigh of relief and breathing room. There it is.
Wow. I'd have to go back and look hole by hole, but I'm not sure when or even if there has been a 3-stroke gap between first and second all week long.
I can't remember one myself. I think it's been right there, as you said, 1-stroke, 2-stroke maximum. No one ever really putting the foot on throat for anybody and making things more difficult and insurmountable, I guess would be the word. They've all been able to bounce right back. Somebody usually makes a mistake, but now we're just 5 holes to the completion of this event. No more mistakes for Joe Rovere if he wants to hang on to this one.
The 14th is a 341-foot par 3. Joe with the box.
There you go. A little pan out should give you the idea of distance to target for Joe out in circle 2. Matt Blakely, second to throw. This man's had a busy year. He's played a bunch of golf in his home state and region area of Ohio. Bunch of golf. A lot of top 10s for Matt Blakely.
What the heck did it hit?
I see something moving.
Feldberg a little inside of where we saw Joe Rovere land. Now opportunity here for Cale Leiviska if he can get this one tight.
This is a must get.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Best looking shot of the group. Definitely slides inside circle 1. Blakely quick to act. Coming up empty-handed.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't need to be super aggressive with that play. That was the right idea. Give it a soft bid. Feldberg, hey, there he is. Another big bomb from Dave Feldberg out in circle 2, and he needs every last one of them if he's going to make this podium finish.
Must make for Cale Leiviska.
Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem there for Dr. Mr. Smooth, whatever you want to call him.
I was told it was Dr. Smooth, and I certainly don't want to disrespect a doctor, so...
Oh, it should be Master Smooth at this stage of the game for Cale Leiviska. He's definitely mastered the art of keeping things smooth and rhythmic. All of these competitors, masters of their respective skill sets, been doing it for a long, long time.
To the 15th, 375 feet. Pretty open area around the basket.
Again, one of those 375s. It looks like these guys are going to give this a pretty healthy tug.
No, it's left. Dang, just dropped. Take it. It's the opposite of earlier.
It looks like Feldberg finished a little out to the left. Cale Leiviska trying to apply pressure once again to the leader, Joe Rovere, down by 2.
Going with the more direct route here.
Got some nice ground play, some bump and grind, if you will, but that looks well short. Joe Rovere, if he can get this one tight, get that 3-stroke advantage back, he should be smooth sailing into victory lane.
Wow.
Overthrows it by 50, 60 feet long and left. No advantage here so far. Matthew Blakely, first look at his sidearm, and he's got a good one, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Running it a hair long, but a clean look. Another must-make opportunity situation here for Leiviska. Comes up empty-handed. Joe Rovere can be aggressive here if he wants. Another tentative bid. Never really got that on chains. Feldberg.
Go ho ho. Just off the band.
And Matthew Blakely trying to slam the door on Feldberg with a solid birdie putt there, keeping him locked up in that podium finish.
Sorry, that slid up a little bit.
Four competitors. 2 strokes separates both trailers. David Feldberg, Cale Leiviska trying to close the door.
Practice. It's the difference between good and great. Distractions are obstacles. Eliminate them and see how far you can go.
We have the 97th, the 98th, and the 99th holes of this major championship remaining. First, par 4 at 599 feet, one of the easiest holes on the course.
Got to take advantage. Looking for star frame here for the guys. Got to keep these battles close. Matt Blakely first to tee. Trying to stiff arm Dave Feldberg into a podium finish. A super hot round 12-pack, the semifinals. That's out there in position. Dave Feldberg to match.
Dave going for it.
Oh, that was bad. Whatever. I was trying to
That
get
didn't sound good. Cale Leiviska obviously looking out to the right side, hyzer line away. Give this a full rip. Cover as much ground as he can, and he'll take that angle from there into the green.
Thanks.
Now Joe to respond.
A little higher, a little tighter into the same window. A couple of late trees to mitigate, and boom. Fairway central.
Oh no, wrong disc. Wrong disc. That's what happens when you steal my own
That
life.
got away from Feldberg. I'm not sure if that was the wind or the disc. Either way, advantage here for Matthew Blakely to grab another stroke. What a fantastic approach from the Ohio native. Right there off the bullseye. Tap in birdie.
Leiviska a little bit short here.
Yeah, you don't want to leave that much space between you and the target when you got Joe Rovere with 2 strokes ahead and just a baby little computer chip shot into the green. Feldberg going to try to throw that one in there. Nothing doing for Feldberg, just a par. Big time putt for Cale Leiviska. Absolutely had to have it.
And Cale and Joe will move to the penultimate hole, Dormy.
Yeah, that should do it for Dave Feldberg's chance at a podium finish. This is going to be a two-stroke flip-flop here.
Joe takes care of business. Now Blakely.
Good job, man. Thank you. There's no way to catch up. That's what I'm hoping to try to do. Well, there was nothing you could do. You just play like normal golf. You make up 3 shots here, it'd be pretty tough. I don't think there's enough on our scorecard.
To the 17th, just 300 feet. It's a par 3. Also has played fairly easy during the course of this week.
As we've spoken about earlier, all the space seems to be out here on the right side of this fairway entering the green. One little shrubby tree in the way. Matthew Blakely opting for the sidearm. He's got a fantastic sidearm game. Unfortunately, doesn't find quite the line.
Now to Cale. This is a must birdie.
Absolutely is, Grant. No doubt about that. That looks pretty similar to where we saw him in the semifinals, just a little bit short and left. Joe Rovere.
Oh,
Absolutely
wow.
perfect. That might be the straw that breaks the camel's back for Cale Leiviska. Dave Feldberg, little tree action there, forward push. Matt Blakely a long ways, just going to get up and down for par. Tries to challenge that last tree. Should be a little straddle putt or a knee putt. Feldberg.
Ooh.
Nearly rung that up, playing up and over the top. Once again, Cale Leiviska having that same action up and over that bush, sends it home. But so close for Joe Rovere, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference as far as the wind's concerned.
And with this, Joe Rovere would afford himself the opportunity to play the difficult 18th pretty conservatively.
Absolutely. And fortunate for Joe, he's been playing the 18th pretty dang solid. He's got a couple of the longest drives we've seen off the tee, really getting the disc up in the air and bending that thing over, playing way out to the right. And from there, you can totally play conservative, take your par, and it would take a heroic effort from Cale Leiviska to make eagle and make things interesting, go to a playoff.
Here we are, the final hole, the 99th of this 5.5 round major championship. The 18th is a 1,093-foot par 5.
What a way to finish things off with a par 5 for these competitors after the long week. I'm sure they're all exceptionally proud of their efforts to make it this far through the week. These guys in the final 9, all huge names in disc golf over the years and continuing to show their skill set as strong as ever.
Stock drive there from Cale. Now Joe Rovere.
How much does he try to bite off? Nice clean swing. Didn't look overly aggressive there from Joe. Just going to play for position. There you go. Open spaces. Matthew Blakely, that looked a hair underturned. Probably out there, goes out to the left for Matthew Blakely, a little short and early. Feldberg gets it into the appropriate window. But also going to start unraveling just a little earlier than you'd like. Wouldn't prefer to be on the left side of this hole. I'd rather see these guys off to the right. Opens things up. Blakely trying to figure it out from that early tree kick. And
Pretty smart play there, really, knowing he's got a lot of room to work with.
Yeah, he's pretty much got this podium finish locked up. Matthew Blakely does. David Feldberg 3 strokes back. I don't really see him throwing one in for an albatross here. So, yeah, Blakely also can play conservative and capture that podium. That doesn't help. Third shot here from Matthew Blakely. Just another setup shot. A little ninja branch. That's not going to change much for Blakely. Just going to chip up and down, get his par.
Joe Rovere going high. No
That'll
problem.
Work. Yeah, that'll work. Feldberg punches through to the right side of the tree line. Should have a pretty open swing into the green. Cale Leiviska threading the needle. There we go. Nicely done there from Cale.
Blakely now, his 4th.
He runs it a little long, but he's been putting solid all day. We should expect to see that go home for his par. Feldberg, early release out to the left.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Absolutely. That would have been a treat to watch Feldberg close out his event with that putt there. Unfortunately, doesn't get it to stick. Joe Rovere doesn't need it, so he's just going to lay it up. As expected, Matthew Blakely drains the par putt. Fantastic back-to-back podium finishes. Tied it up with Stuart McIsaac from Canada at the Tim Selinsky, and here he is, 3rd place at Pro Masters Worlds.
Cale Leiviska, 2nd at Masters Worlds. To you, Philo, in a playoff. Now 2nd here at Pro Masters. I said Masters Worlds. I meant U.S. Tim Selinsky. Now 2nd at Pro Worlds by just 1. To this man, Joe Rovere, back-to-back.
What a performance from Joe Rovere all week long, firmly in the conversation. Never let these guys get too far out in front of
Your
him.
Mixed Pro 40 2023 PDGA Disc Golf Champion. Again, back-to-back, Joe Rovere.
Joe Rovere, the professor, with a 1-stroke victory over Cale Leiviska. Matthew Blakely, the podium finish. Dave Feldberg, an excellent showing this week. Congratulations to the others in the top 10. We saw most of them. Martin Hendel, Steve Rico, Ulibarri, Anthon, Shotwell, and MJ, Michael Johansson. Philo, I love what I do because of guys like you. It's been an honor and a privilege.